Good morning, community. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening Canning Recipes. A little bit of everything. The heat is on. It's been on here in Texas. We are burning up. We're having heat indexes up to 115 degrees. So getting out here in the afternoon is almost impossible. And things are struggling to survive. And we are trying to keep it going as long as we can. And then we're going to turn right around and start with our fall gardening. But let me show you what's going on with my sweet potatoes this morning. I know many of you struggle with this too, guys. Look, it's vermin. Vermin's getting in here and getting these sweet potatoes. I was able to harvest some. I'll show you those here in a minute. But these big Vigo beds seem to have done really well. I don't know if there's anything deep, but I'm wondering if I need, looky there, look at that. I'm wondering if I need to go ahead and dig through and see what we got, because I really don't want to lose any more of our harvest. And you can see the vines are not dying back, and that's when you know they're ready to go, and they're not dying back. And I'm not finding a lot in this one, but it doesn't mean that they're not in there. So let me show you what I found so far. So this is why I think I need to find what I can. You can see how big those are, and we don't want them to get too big. But these are nice size bakers, guys, nice size. And this is what I'm finding in the little one. So let me give you a far off view here. So this is the little one, and this is the big one. And the vines have just gone crazy. You can see how far they go out. Man, there's just tons of them, tons of them. And yeah. So I'm excited we're getting some. And look, there's some coming up there. There's a couple here we probably need to cover up. But that one looks like a pretty good size. So I do think I'm going to dig through and see what we have in these. I think this little one made it a little bit more convenient for moles or voles. I think probably voles, or even maybe some rats, dirty rats coming up through here. The big one might be a little harder, although I think they can probably climb those vines, but they're really focusing on the little short. You can't even see that raised bed, can you? And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about how good they've done, but I really hope there's some serious sweet potatoes in there. Many of you have watched one of my videos about what not to do. You want to make sure that your dirt is very loose, because if your dirt is too dense, you're not going to get you any, because they just won't grow in that dense dirt. So we were successful at getting that. And let's see what we got in. Oh yeah, here's one right here. Let's see what the size of this one is. Looky there, guys. That is a very large baker. Oh, so excited. So our sweet potato vines, this is their third planting, I think. Oh yeah, there's another one in there. Third planting, because we keep one container in one of the high tunnels and the vines start coming up, and that's what we use to plant. Yeah, there's a big one in here. I need to get it. You can see it. Oh yeah, that's a pretty darn big one. Now guys, we're at the end of August right now. Normally these don't come in until probably around September, mid-September, and that might be the case for this big raised bed. But for the little one, we got to get to picking, because we don't want them to be too big. So there was concern that these metal sides would get too hot for these sweet potatoes, but you can see the vines covered them completely, and you can't even see the metal in there, and if you can, it's very little. So it really worked out well. So I can feel some in this little one deep down in there. I'm gonna leave those alone, and then the ones that have munching damage, I'm gonna leave in here, because I'm hoping they'll continue to go for those and not my other ones that are coming in. So I planted, guys, about mid to late March. We got an early jump. So if you planted when I did here in the South, you need to start checking. We've been put on notice that things are growing now, and they're almost getting too big, but they are really nice size bakers. Now what we've been getting from the store, just like little bitty. They're just not even, almost can't even eat just one, you know, for our meals because they're so little. So I'm stoked about getting these big old bakers. Now most people plant here in April, and we did get a jump on it, and that would put them right in the middle of September when things were going to start coming to fruition. So if you planted around the 1st of April, you're going to want to start checking your vines to see if you got anything, especially if your vines are starting to die off a little bit, because that tells you that they're just about done. Now save some of your smaller tubers to put in a pot and maybe put in your windowsill, put in your greenhouse if you have one, somewhere where you can keep it over the winter to grow your vines for next year. These are our 3rd generation sweet potatoes from our vines. So don't throw those little tubers out. Save them and plant them in a pot and keep them going. We got some big ones. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put them somewhere in a cool, dry place, and you need to let them cure at least 2 weeks, if not longer. So what we did over the winter is we took them and we wrapped them in newspaper, and then we put them in one of our baskets, and we set them in a dark corner in our house that stays cool, and that's how we save our sweet potatoes. But you want to let them cure if you want to get the sweet potato flavor. So there's one big one in there. You can see that I'm gonna have to slice that one up probably and bake it, and I can maybe make some mashed sweet potatoes or sweet potato pie. So here is our paprika peppers, and they're doing pretty good up here, but I can't tell you how nice it is to harvest, guys, something right now in the heat of the summer. Now there's a nice south breeze blowing, and it's about 78 degrees. So we got to take advantage of these cooler temps, but not been able to put my green beans in the ground yet because honestly, it's too hot. We would have to water them like every hour or we would lose them too. And many of you know I lost my bush beans. I didn't lose them. I just didn't get as many as I normally get. So I've gone to the Contari beans. And as soon as I feel like I can get in there with a little bit of hope that they're not going to burn up, I'm going to pop them in the ground. Now they're about a 60-day turnaround. So I still have until maybe the 1st week of September, providing we have a normal winter. Now they're predicting that we're going to get a warmer and drier winter. I don't really want the drier winter. I want the wet winter that we had last year, and I'm praying that the Lord changes that. And I'm praying that we get some rain. Now we had some storms very close to us, about 11 miles away last night, and they kicked up some very high winds, but we didn't get any rain from it. And I'm really hoping that whatever that system was that came through the southeast of us kicks back in this afternoon and gives us a shot at some of that rain. We need it, we need it, we need it. You can see some of my beautiful paprika peppers coming in. Some of them are getting sun scorched, but that'll be okay. They're looking good, looking good. And guys, the fires have already kicked back in. Last night, Possum Kingdom, lightning strike. Look at these are gorgeous. Lightning strike caused some fires, and yeah, we gotta get these picked so Greg can get them processed to make our smoked paprika powder. But anyway, we're under a high fire risk, fire danger. So I've got the sprinkler out around the property, keeping things wet around this place. Aren't these just beautiful? Woo! Some fresh paprika. Keeping our spices clean, guys. Keeping our herbs and spices clean. Got this good old fan blowing on me on this back porch. It really helps, guys. So anyway, wanted to give you an update, show you what's going on with sweet potatoes. If you planted around the same time I did here in the south, you want to start checking. Otherwise, if you planted around April, like people normally do, then I would start checking in the next week or two. And again, we have some deep tubers in there. I'm gonna leave those alone. If you come across small tubers, plant them in a pot. And then in the big one, I have a feeling that they went a little deeper than in the small one, because the vines are still going strong. We probably have another week or two on those, maybe even a little longer. We don't have to worry about anything until the first freeze, so we've got as much time as we need before that, because that usually is around mid to late November. So who knows, we may get a lot more. Thank you for watching. Wanted to give you an update here, tell you I love you, and we will be in touch soon. Stay safe. See you soon.